I'm Roman Yossi of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Dante Fabro of the Nashville Predators.
This is Philip Forsberg of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Colton Sissons of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Eustace Aros of the Nashville Predators.
You're listening to the Renegades of Puck
with Crazy Charlie.
Welcome to the bunker. Welcome to the Renegades of Puck podcast. I'm your host and Captain Crazy Charlie Saunier. And before we get started with the No Half Step and hockey coverage, first let me direct you to our home website, renegadesofpuck.com. Once you go to renegadesofpuck.com, you'll learn everything you need to know about the show and what you're good and educated about the show. As you click on that merchandise tab, we're going to take you straight to our classic logo t-shirt. Our gimmicks are still available in the online store that you come to know and love and expect from Renegades of Puck, like socks, throw pillows, wall art, bed sets. It makes no difference to us. We put our logo on everything. As a matter of fact, we've sold out so that you can buy in. Social media is of critical importance as independent, unaffiliated operations, so here's how you can jump in the trenches with the Renegades of Puck. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Threads. You can also find us on Facebook and X, so please help us out on any or all of those social media platforms, whatever it is you prefer. It doesn't take you but a second, and it doesn't cost you a single thing, but it sure does go a long way to helping this independent operation known as the Renegades of Puck. Our YouTube page, that's where we really could use some support, looking to bolster our ranks right there. Please just go to the Renegades of Puck YouTube page, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notifications buttons, click on a bunch of links, watch a bunch of different videos. We put up all different kinds of content. We are always adding stuff to the YouTube page, so please check us out over there. And if you'd like to make a donation to the show, you'd like to pay off some of our swear bills, we do have a virtual tip jar right over there on the corner of the desk. You can scan that QR code, or you can just go to Venmo and search out Renegades of Puck. Every single dollar goes a long way to helping this independent, unaffiliated operation, so please, if you can spare it, we sure could use it. It's going to be a long, cold winter here in the bunker, so please, if you can support your local Renegades, do so. Now listen, I know it's time for the No Half Step and hockey coverage, so let me deliver the goods. It's time for operation number 944. That's right, it is time for show number 944. And at this moment in hockey history, the Nashville Predators currently find themselves in 8th place in the Central Division after 33 games skated. They have a record of 9-17-7. 25 points has them very far out of a playoff spot at this moment in time. We'll update the rest of the Central here momentarily. On home ice, which is where the Nashville Predators' next game will take place against the LA Kings, game 3 of a 4-game homestand. The Predators have a record of 6-7-3. They've scored 76 goals this season. They've given up 103 goals against. That's a goal differential of -27. Preds week ahead, season series, Kings update, rankings, all of that coming up after Central Division standings update, which is right now. The Winnipeg Jets are still in first place in the Central as they've been for the majority of the season. 47 points overall. The Minnesota Wild in second place with 44. The Dallas Stars have 38. The Colorado Avalanche have 36 in fourth place. The Utah Hockey Club have 35 in fifth place. The St. Louis Blues are in sixth place with 33. The Chicago Blackhawks 26 points, and the Nashville Predators in 8th place with 25 points on the season. For the Preds, the week ahead, closing out the homestand Monday versus the Carolina Hurricanes. That'll be game 4 of this 4-game homestand. Then taking the brief Christmas break, roster freeze as well, so there will be no news over those couple of days. Friday, returning to the schedule at St. Louis, the 30th of December at Winnipeg, the 31st of December at Minnesota, and then beginning the year 2025 on the 3rd of January in Vancouver. The regular season series between the Predators and the LA Kings is as follows. Back on the 4th of November, it might have been the Predators' single worst home game of the entire season. They were shut out by the LA Kings 3-0, but it was worse than that. Saros took the loss 24 out of 26, but Kemper gets the shutout and the victory, only making 16 saves in that game, while Fiala, Kempe, and Kopitar paced the LA Kings with a goal apiece. These two teams will meet one more time this season. It'll be the Predators' only trip out to LA. That will take place on March the 15th. For the LA Kings, their most recent stretch of action updated here coming after we get to their regular season record of 19-9-4. 42 points has them second overall in the Pacific Division. On the road, respectable. 9-7-3, as a matter of fact, better than respectable, over 500. They've scored 101 goals for, and they have given up I can't read my numbers, but I have a plus goal differential, 82 goals against. I have a goal differential of plus 19. Couldn't even read my own handwriting. That's bad. In their most recent stretch of action, it has been a lengthy road trip for the LA Kings team. Back on December the 10th, a 3-1 win at the New York Islanders, followed that up 2 days later on the 12th with a 3-1 loss at the New Jersey Devils. Then on the 14th of December, a 5-1 win at Madison Square Garden versus the New York Rangers. On the 17th of December, a 3-2 overtime loss at Pittsburgh. And most recently on the 19th, a 7-3 win at the Philadelphia Flyers. Kemper got the start, picked up the victory, going 23 out of 26 in that game. The captain, Roman Josi, is still listed as day-to-day. Alex Carey has been traded to the Montreal Canadiens, and Jeremy Lauzon is back in the lineup as of the most recent game. So that has you updated on the Predators' injury situation at this moment. Again, Carey has been traded to the Montreal Canadiens, and Josi expected back in the lineup any time now. The NHL rankings in this matchup, goals for, and this LA Kings team is really a Jekyll and Hyde team. You'll understand exactly what I mean as we go through the NHL rankings right here. In the goals for category, 3.16 is 13th best in the NHL. Good number right there. Bad number for the Predators, 2.30 is 32nd overall in the NHL, but at least we have seen some positive improvement in that goals per game number in the last couple of games. In the goals against category, the Predators giving up 3.12 per game. That is 22nd overall in the NHL, while the LA Kings giving up 2.53 goals per game. That's best overall in the league. That sounds right up the Preds' alley right there. Shots for the Predators giving up 29.4 per game. That's 10th best in the NHL, while the LA Kings getting 27.8 shots on goal per game. That's 21st overall, but the shots against category, the LA Kings only give up 24.7 shots on goal against this season. That's best overall in the league. In the shots against category for the Nashville Predators, 29.7 against is 27th overall in the NHL. Special teams, the Predators are ahead in the power play and in the penalty kill. On the power play, 17.7% is a conversion rate that's rated 23rd in the league. 17 conversions, 96 opportunities. The LA Kings, 15.1% conversion rate, is 29th overall in the NHL. 13 conversions out of 86 power play opportunities on the season. The penalty kill, Preds still maintain the number one overall ranking in the NHL with a kill rate of 87.1%. They've given up 13 power play goals against now on the season. The LA Kings, a top 10 metric in the PK at 9th overall, 82.2% kill rate. They have given up 18 power play goals against this season. So the LA Kings, like I said, Jekyll and Hyde right here. They have 3 top 10 rankings, including 2 number 1 overall rankings on the defensive side of things in goals against and shots against. But then in the other categories, they find themselves at 29th, 21st, and 13th. The Predators, well, they've got the penalty kill. Yeah, they've got that. Individual statistics for each of these teams. The Nashville Predators have had some movement because they've managed to score some goals in recent games. Philip Forsberg back on top of the stats for the Nashville Predators. 9 goals, 15 assists, 24 overall points. A 3-way tie for tops on the Preds with 9 goals right there. Josi has 7 goals and 16 assists for 23 points. They anticipated to be back in the lineup any day now. Marchessault now at 9 goals and 11 assists for 20 points. Stamkos also 9 goals, 10 assists for 19 points. O'Reilly 7 and 11 for 18. Over on the LA Kings side of the ledger, Predator killer Anze Kopitar, 10 goals, 27 assists for 37 points. Kopitar scored one of the goals against the Predators in their first matchup this season. Kempe, 16 and 15 for 31. That's a nice even stat line. Lafreniere, 12 and 12 for 24. That's even better. Fiala, 12 and 8 for 20. Moore has 6 goals, 12 assists for 18 points. In net, Darcy Kemper's most updated statistics after picking up the victory in Philadelphia, 8-2 and 4 on the season with a 2.36 goals against average, a 9.13 save percentage. UC Saros' updated numbers after his most recent start, 7-14 and 6, a 2.72 goals against average, 9.07 save percentage with 3 shutouts. That's got you all set up for the Nashville Predators afternoon game against the LA Kings at Bridgestone Arena. Again, game 3 of 4 on the homestand for the Preds. They picked up points in their first 2 games. Will they be able to do that against the LA Kings after falling to the LA Kings 3-0 earlier in the season and honestly being one of the worst performances? I'm looking for a Preds revenge game against the LA Kings. They really need it at this moment. They need to step it up. That's got you all set to watch it, and we're going to be all set to cover it right here in the bunker when it's over. Let's talk about the Rebirth Sports full game recap. That's coming up next. We got to go back and talk about the Preds versus the Pens at Bridgestone Arena right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
Hockey players are as unique as the game itself, and your uniform should be tailored to fit you. Rebirth Sports is your sports apparel tailor. From shells, bags, warm-ups, hats, hoodies, branding, and more, let Rebirth Sports be your custom hockey tailor.
And don't forget to tell them they do more than just hockey.
Rebirth Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Rebirth Sport, a match made in hockey.
It's now time for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We go all the way back to December 19th, the year 2024, when the Nashville Predators were welcoming the Pittsburgh Penguins to Bridgestone Arena. Head coach Andrew Burnett deploys his lines and defensive pairings in the following way: Forsberg, Stamkos, and Marchessault, LaRue, O'Reilly, and Nyquist, Jankowski, Novak, Evangelista, Smith, McCarron, and Sissons. Your defensive pairings are Shea and Blankenberg. Luzon back in the lineup. Willsby is his defensive partner. Del Gaizo back from being placed on waivers with the Nashville Predators for one more game. Luke Shen as his defense partner. UC Saros gets the start in net. 3:07 into the first period. Now it's Jari coming with a save on Willsby. It was a 2-on-1 with LaRue, and it was the first shot on goal of the game. 3:51 now in the first period. It's Marchessault with his 9th goal of the season. Forsberg sent the puck off of the rush to the low slot, allowing Marchessault to crash hard and cash in again, giving the Nashville Predators a 1-0 lead over the Pittsburgh Penguins. 7:27 mark of the first period. It's Marchessault off to the box. 2 minutes for tripping on Philip Tomasino. First special teams scenario of the game. 0 shots on goal given up by the Nashville Predators. An outstanding penalty kill. Colton Sissons doing some great work out there. 10:53 of the first period. It's Raquel off the box. Minutes for hooking on Marchessault. So Marchessault been involved in everything so far in the first 10 minutes of this game. The Predators' first power play of the game. Jari comes up with a save on O'Reilly at the top of the crease. A couple of give and goes led to a great chip shot. Jari, an outstanding save right here. Jari also comes with a save on Tommy Novak. That would do it for the Nashville Predators power play. 13:13 of the first period. Saros coming up with a save on Rust's backhand. That was the first shot on goal of the game for the Pittsburgh Penguins, coming at the 13:13 mark of the first period. 14:19 of the first period. Saros coming with a save on Phil Tomasino. 16:21 now of the first period. It's Rust picking up his 13th goal of the season. A rebound tap in. Saros made the initial stop on the tic-tac-toe, but could not get himself back to position in time. Rust with the easy tap in for his 13th of the season ties the game up at 1 apiece. 16:28 of the first period. It's Beauvillier. Yes, that Beauvillier, former Nashville Predator, off the box. 2 minutes for interference. Preds back on the power play. Jari comes up with a save on Novak, and then Luke Evangelista cashes in with his 4th goal of the season. It was a rebound putback of Novak's intentional shot off of the pads to create that rebound. Luke Evangelista pounces on, and the Preds are up 2-1. That'll take us to the end of the first period with the Predators out shooting the Pittsburgh Penguins 9-5. On to the clean sheet of the second period. We pick action up at 1:25. We find Jari coming up with a save on Stamkos. The 1:31 mark of the second period. Slazat coming up penalty. 2 minutes for kneeing on Steven Stamkos. This led to a scrum. Stamkos was very unhappy with this hit right here. Jari comes up with a save on Nyquist. The Preds power play cannot make the Penguins pay. 3:38 though of the second period. Stamkos picking up his 9th goal of the season. Forsberg feed to the left circle for the wrist shot finish, and somehow, even though it went off the bar in the middle of the net, the ref missed it. It had to be reviewed, but it obviously was a goal. We all saw it going with our own eyes. I think the referee was the only one that wasn't totally sure. Stamkos' 9th goal of the season makes it 3-1 in favor of the Nashville Predators. At the 5:58 mark of the second period, it's Shea off to the box. 2 minutes for tripping. This is going to allow Sidney Crosby to take a big check along the half wall, get up, come right back to the side of the net, and have a perfect redirect of Carlson's shot pass. Crosby's 9th goal of the season, getting over on McCarron and the Predators, makes the game 3-2 in favor of the Nashville Predators. 8:33 of the second period. Saros comes up with a save on Graves at 9:08 of the second period. It's Raquel with his 15th goal of the season, and it was a deflection off of the Predators defender in front that ends up taking an awkward bounce over UC Saros and into the net. A bad turnover is what started this whole play. The game now tied at 3 apiece. At the 9:58 mark of the second period, it's Jari coming with a save on Del Gaizo. 12:28, Jari comes up with a save on Brady Shea. 16:59, UC Saros comes up with a save on Letang after the game tied at 3 apiece. Things really settle down and come to a crawl. We hit the end of the second period. We have a 3-3 hockey game. The Nashville Predators out shooting the Pittsburgh Penguins by a total of 16-9. Into the third period, we're 38 seconds in, and Carlson's off the box. 2 minutes for holding the stick. Jari would come up with a save on Forsberg, but the Predators would be unable to to convert in this scenario. 3:09 of the third period. Saros comes up with a save on Letang at the 4-minute mark. Saros comes up with a save on Tomasino. Then we find ourselves at 7:44 of the third period where Shea scores his third goal of the season. It was LaRue bringing the puck from the D zone all the way up to the blue line at the offensive zone for O'Reilly to then send it over to Shea. Shea kicks it up to his blade and puts it in. A highlight reel goal for the Nashville Predators. They are now ahead 4-3 in the third period. We flip over to the backside of the sheet and we find our next action at 8:17 in the third period. Lazard off to the box again, 2 minutes for interference. A huge scrum for what many considered to be a dirty hit in this scenario, his second of the game. Jari comes up with a save on O'Reilly, then Jari comes up with a save on Steven Stamkos. The Predators, again, unable to convert on a power play. 11:37 now in the third period. It's Carlson with his third goal of the season, tying the game up at 4 apiece. A long shot through traffic with Crosby setting the screen. The Pittsburgh Penguins were buzzing at this moment, and they get the tying goal. We go to the 13:51 mark of the third period. It's Jari coming up with a save on O'Reilly. 14:53. Jari comes up with a save on Luke Evangelista. 17:26 of the third period. Jari comes up with a save on Nyquist. Preds pushing, trying to get that winning goal here in regulation, but at 17:53, it's Stamkos off the box. 2 minutes for tripping. No shots on goal given up by the Nashville Predators. As a matter of fact, an outstanding job of ragging the puck by the Predators penalty kill unit. You don't see that very often in the modern NHL. Used to be a standard practice of penalty killers to pass the puck back to their defenseman and play keep away, but now teams typically just dump the puck in and get a change. Great job here by the Nashville Predators securing a point with a great penalty kill at the end of regulation. Nashville Predators outshoot the Penguins for 3 periods, 26-19. We go into the 3-on-3 overtime. The Predators have the first possession, hold on to it for nearly a minute, do not get a single shot on goal. As a matter of fact, passed up a couple of shot opportunities in the 107 mark of the 3-on-3 overtime. We find Rust scoring his 14th goal of the season. It was a wrist shot from the high slot. Again, after the Preds passed up multiple shots on goal and got caught in a line change during a 3-on-3 overtime. 5-4 is your final. The Pittsburgh Penguins come away with the extra point. The Predators do earn a point, though. The Nashville Predators outshoot the Penguins at 26-20 in an overtime loss. So for the Nashville Predators, that's 2 games on this 4-game homestand complete. They have picked up 3 of the 4 possible points. Pointing out the positive, obviously, right there, the Predators did have a 3-1 lead in this game, and they gave up a 3-1 lead. They had a 4-3 lead in the third period, and they gave that up, and they lost in overtime. So the positive you can take away is a point. The negative is the Preds did not have a very, very good night overall on the back end, in net or from the defense. And the Predators did find a way, though, to score 4 goals. That's something they haven't done a whole lot. So, again, positives and negatives all the way around. I guess that's why this is a kind of a half 50-50 night where the Preds do pick up 1 of the 2 points. That's going to do it for the Reverse Sports full game recap. We got analysis, box score, and so much more coming up next on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Tracy, owner-operator of Strong Style Fitness. And that's me and my training assistant, Rizzo. And we are here to bring you fitness that meets you where you are by offering circuit classes, bar-inspired classes, Tabata workouts, boot camps, guided stretching, and more, all taught by a certified personal trainer, me. To learn more, go to our website, strongstylefit.com. Subscribe on YouTube at Strong Style Fitness. Follow on social media at Strong Style Fit. But most importantly, let's get you moving. It doesn't matter if it's your first workout or you've been doing it for years. Strong Style Fitness has the workout that meets you on your journey and helps you along the path to a happier, healthier life. I understand where you've been, what you were going through, and where you were going, and I want to take you there. We'll see you on the mat. Mwah.
Welcome back in. That was the Reverse Sports full game recap. Now time for some analysis. Let's get into it. UC Saros got the start in this one, and after getting some puck luck and getting the shutout against the New York Rangers in his last start against the Pittsburgh Penguins, some of that puck luck certainly came back the other way, as it always seems to do in hockey. Saros 15 out of 20 in this game, gave up 5 goals against, took the loss, and it was a bad night between the pipes. This was not the UC Saros, and it doesn't matter what the names or how big of legends they are or how many stats they have all time. This was just not a night UC Saros was going to be able to shut them down. Sidney Crosby seemed to be on a personal mission to make sure that the Pittsburgh Penguins won that game last night, as he has done many times, but The Predators made the mistake of poking the bear, and UC Saros suffered at the hands of Sidney Crosby and the rest, Carlson, and all of them over there on the Penguins side of things. So Saros, a bad night between the pipes, only 15 out of 20, takes a loss by giving up 5 goals. Let's talk about some of the skaters in this game for the Predators. Marchessault scores a goal in this game. His 9th goal, now in a 3-way tie for tops on the Nashville Predators, 7 points in his last 4 games, 4 of those 7 points being goals. He's going to the net hard. It's as simple as that. Every one of his goals seems to look in similar fashion, very much him crashing towards the net very hard, having his stick down, being ready to receive a pass. And then you have world-class distribution services like Stamkos and Forsberg out there with you. And Marchessault has been the beneficiary of that 4 times now in the last 3 games. So Marchessault, again, continues doing some really good positive work. I'm very excited to see where Marchessault is going to continue to grow and continue to get more comfortable as a Nashville Predator. Steven Stamkos, just mentioned him. He also scores a goal in this game, tied for the team lead with 9. And I just asked the question, how did the ref not see that go in? I'm watching the broadcast. I see it plainly go in with my own eyes. I see the Predators start to celebrate, and then for some reason they are reviewing it. Yes, I know it hit the pipe in the back of the net, and it sprung out pretty quickly, but it was absolutely easy to see that puck went into the net. I don't know how the referee missed it. Maybe he was just unsure of himself. Maybe he heard the ping and didn't necessarily see it, but no doubt that was in the net, and it was another Steven Stamkos great shot and another great setup by Filip Forsberg. We'll talk about him here momentarily, but Steven Stamkos continues doing hard work. Evangelista, talk about doing good work, breaking the jam. Just love his game so far this season. He picks up 1 goal in this game, his 4th of the season. I wish that number was just a little bit higher, but the Predators haven't been scoring at all across the board. So Luke Evangelista gets a pass on that one. The rest of his game has been incredibly strong. He goes to the hard areas. He puts the puck on net. He's not afraid to add a little bit of skill and grit together to really round out a nice hockey game. Luke Evangelista, surrounded by solid players on his line, can be a very high performer for this Nashville Predators team. Brady Shea stepping up in Roman Jossi's absence, big time. Goal and assist, 2 points, 22-51. Total time on ice, 339 on the power play, 227 on the power penalty kill. Sounds a lot like Roman Jossi's stat line typically does. What a luxury right now the Predators have to have a player like Brady Shea who can step up and fill in for the role that Roman Josi usually fills. Roman Josi, of course, will be very welcome back in the line, but Brady Shea gets the 4th goal in this game. He put the Preds ahead in the 3rd period. It looked like the Preds might have had things taken care of until the Penguins went back to work, but he stepped up big time in the last few games, and the Predators have picked up points in 3 of the last 4 games with Josi out of the lineup and Brady Shea leading the defense corps. Filip Forsberg, mentioned his name earlier. World-class distribution service, 2 assists in this one. Really likes his new line mates. Does he like them too much? Is he not being selfish enough? Filip Forsberg, I know, has been snake-bitten this season. His shooting percentage is very low. He's hit a lot of posts. He's missed a lot of nets. But Filip Forsberg is the best shooter in Nashville Predators franchise history. He has the best wrist shot. He has the best release. And he has overall the best shot in Preds team history. So is he passing up shots now because he was bitten a little bit earlier in the season for Stamkos and Marchessault? Piling up the assists. I mean, listen, 15 assists now for Phil Forsberg, but he's been stuck on that 9 goals for quite some time. Maybe Phil Forsberg can break through in this next game. When the points start adding up, usually the goals will follow. So he's been getting plenty of assists. He's been involved in plenty of offensive scoring plays as of late. Just hasn't found the goals, but world class in his distribution service. And that's not something you could say about his game in the first few years of his career. Often would be well ahead in goals, usually 2-1 over assists. Now he's found consistency in scoring, and bizarrely this year, the assists are pacing well ahead of the goals, which is, again, something we've not seen from Phil Forsberg in the past. That's going to do it for the analysis portion of things. Let's hear from our good friend Stripe Digital Solutions. Let's come back. Let's get into good, cold, hard numbers under the box score. Let's wrap up this episode, and let's get you all set for that Preds-Kings game on a Saturday afternoon, right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
The digital environment can be quite intimidating, time-consuming, and cumbersome, especially with all those other areas that need attention at your business, and that's why Stripe Digital Solutions is here to help. I know, because that's exactly what Stripe Digital Solutions did for me and the Renegades of Puck. From designing my home website and helping me create my merchandise to special event posters, brand building, and social media management. But it's not just that, it's so much more. Stripe Digital Solutions has helped me every step of the way. From startup to full-time operation, Stripe Digital Solutions has been there to assist and advise every single step of the journey. In today's fast-paced world, the path to success is having a strong digital partner, and nobody is better in the trenches than Brandy and Stripe Digital Solutions. Get the solution before it's even a problem with Stripe Digital Solutions.
Welcome back in. Time for the good, cold, hard numbers known as the box score right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast. Your goal scorers for the Nashville Predators. Luke Evangelista bringing the jam, picking up the rebound off of the pads, putting it back to net on the power play. Jonathan Marchessault goes to the net hard, gets rewarded. Steven Stamkos picks his spot and puts it in perfectly. And Brady Shea with the awesome kick up to the blade and finishes the rush right there for the fourth goal for the Predators in this game. Your assist leader for the game, Philip Forsberg, had 2. LaRue had 1, springing that play from the defensive and inside his own blue line all the way up to the offensive zone for O'Reilly. Novak picks up an assist. Nyquist gets an assist. Ryan O'Reilly picks up an assist, as we were just talking about, finishes that rush off. Schenn also picks up an assist, finally getting another point in his career. Brady Shea also picks up 1 assist, 2 total points for Shea in this game. When it comes to shots on goal, it was Ryan O'Reilly with 4 leading the way. Nick Blankenberg also had 4. Steven Stamkos had 3. Tommy Novak had 3. And Brady Shea also had 3 on net. Block shots, 3 was the high for the Nashville Predators. It was Luke Schenn, then Brady Shea with 2. Nobody else with more than 1. In the physical component of things, in the hits category, it was Luzon with 5 hits leading the way. Michael McCarron had 4. Del Gaizo had 3. And LaRue also added 3 in this game. Your time on ice leaders, Gus Nyquist, 20-58 in total time on ice. Stamkos at 19-12. O'Reilly at 18-38. On the defensive side of things, Brady Shea, 22-51 to lead the club in overall time on ice, and Nick Blankenberg, 20 minutes and 2 seconds overall. Power play time on ice, the Preds power play in this game, 1 for 5. Power play time on ice leaders, 5:33 for Philip Forsberg, 5:02 for Ryan O'Reilly, 5:51 for Stamkos, 5:59 for Gus Nyquist, and 3:39 for Brady Shea. The 5 forward alignment for the power play, I'm not a big fan of it. I think it's making the Predators a little bit discombobulated out there. I think you need at least 1 defenseman with 4 forwards. If you want to roll that alignment, I'm willing to meet in the middle on that, but you need somebody out there to quarterback it out at the blue line. You also need a defenseman just in case the other team breaks out, as we've seen a lot lately. But I'm not the biggest fan of the 5 forward power play unit. As much skill as the Predators have, they do need somebody to lead things from the top of the zone. Penalty kill for the Predators in this game. Number 1 rated penalty kill unit in the league was 2 for 3 in this game. Penalty kill time on ice leaders, 3:07 for Michael McCarron, 3:01 for Cole Smith, 2:58 for Mark Jankowski, 2:36 for Adam Wilsby, 2:27 for Brady Shea, and 2:13 for Luke Schenn. But let's give Blankenberg a lot of credit right here, leading the Predators overall in shorthanded time on ice, 3:24 in this game. Blankenberg, you don't hear his name a whole lot, and that's because he's doing his job at a very high level out there on the ice. When you don't hear a defenseman's name and he's playing over 20 minutes a night, he's doing something very well. Blankenberg deserves some stick taps for that. UC Saros was the starter in net, and awful night. 15 out of 20, 5 goals against, an in-game save percentage of .750, 15 even strength saves, no power play saves, no shorthanded saves, and again, just overall, just a bad night. But the Preds still found a way to pick up a point. When you pick up a point when your netminder has that bad of a night and you give up that many points to some legends, you're lucky to get away with a point. The Predators did get away with a point, so give them credit for that. Let's go through some numbers from the box score. The power play, mentioned it, 1 for 5. The PK, 2 for 3. Face-off winning percentage down to 46 again. 24 hits is a nice number. 11 block shots is very, very low. 5 takeaways, 12 giveaways. Preds again on the underside of the puck possession battle in this game. All right, let's wrap up Operation number 944. Let's close it out. Let's go for the positive side of things. The Predators did have a 3-1 lead. They did have a 4-3 lead, and they did end up losing the game in overtime, but they did pick up a point, and they're on a streak. They've picked up points in 2 home games in a row. The next home game against the LA Kings, the one we've previewed in this episode, the Predators could pick up their 10th win of the regular season, and they could even their home record at 500 with their 7th win on home ice, which would make them 7-7-3. They could also jump the Blackhawks and get out of last place. So choosing to find the positive right here, because for the Predators turning it around right now in this 4-game homestand, it's now or never. Losing 1 point to the Pittsburgh Penguins won't be that big a deal if the Predators can pick up the next couple of points. They could pick up 3 out of 4 in the next 2 games, and they can leave this 4-game homestand going into the Christmas break, picking up 6 out of 8 points. That's something the Predators haven't been able to do at any point in time this season. So let's not sit here and say they have to go a perfect 8 for 8. They don't. But if they can keep picking up points and get on a point streak and get a couple more of these players hot and keep developing some of this chemistry, and Marchessault is very close to putting this team completely on his back and carrying them. He's getting more comfortable in that thought process and that role each and every game. You can see how he's going out there and handling his business. Cannot wait to see where he's at by game 40. We're in game 34 now. By game 40, by game 50. I cannot wait to see where this guy is at now. I'm starting to understand, watching him shift in, shift out, how hard he goes to the net, how hard he competes, how hard he works. I'm starting to understand what all the hype was about for the last couple of years while he was in Vegas. He certainly killed the Predators when he was playing against the Preds, but that's the only time I really had the time to do analysis on Jonathan Marchessault. He is absolutely a warrior out there on the ice. And if the Predators did, for any reason, need to consider who might be a new captain of this team, I think Jonathan Marchessault, Ryan O'Reilly, those are the two guys you point to immediately. The way they go about the game, the way they play as hard as they can out there, it's truly enjoyable to watch and to cover. All right, that's going to do it for Operation number 944. You've got a big afternoon game. Nashville Predators, LA Kings on Saturday afternoon at Bridgestone Arena. Going into Christmas time. One more game on the homestand Monday night before the Christmas break. Hopefully the Preds can continue wrapping it up. That will make everybody want to open those jerseys on Christmas Day. That'll make those tickets that you've purchased for your friend, your family member, your coworker a whole lot better if the Preds can get rolling in a positive direction. All right, let's do it. Let's get out of the bunker. It's cold out here. My fingers are absolutely frozen at this point in time. I am your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. I appreciate your viewership. I appreciate your time. And the most important thing of all, appreciate each and every one of you. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Just in case we don't get a chance to keep up with you over the next couple of days, take the show with you on the road. It'll be a nice distraction from all those other things going on. Stick taps, love, and respect.